Right, all right, all right. I think we are live. All right. Are we working here? Rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll. Looks like we are live. Let me make sure I pull this up so I can see the chat. Make sure that's working for me. And we will get this started. So, my name is Michael Gebbin. Of course, you can see that in the title. But I'm here to do these jumpstart sessions. Just started these up. I'm getting some phenomenal feedback, and my intention with these is to provide greater clarity, confidence, and connection. I believe these are important aspects. It's like if you're trying to drive forward in your car and it's a really stormy day, you're not going to, if it's a 70 mile per hour speed limit, unless you're one of those crazy people who's got the big SUV and wants to still drive 90 miles an hour when it's bad outside. But any normal person, when it's really bad and you cannot see that far in front of your car, you slow down massively as to be just a little safer, potentially not get hurt. So a lot of us at times, and I know this in my life, the more unclear we are, the slower we move because we don't want to drive forward too fast because we don't want to mess up and we don't want to make a mistake. And so it's very important to have that clarity. And when we get more clarity, we'll take more inspired action. We take more inspired action, we gain more confidence. The better we get at something, the more confident we get. The more confident we get, the better that we'll do. And then connections, connecting with yourself, connecting with others, it matters. My connections in life have made all the difference. And so I just believe that too many of us are in isolation. Maybe we've had our dreams squashed. Maybe we've been not very encouraged recently. And my goal is to provide a much higher level of encouragement, motivation, inspiration, and a little dose of Gebbs Juice energy. And so that's the goal of these. So today, let me make sure I can see your guys' comments. We are live. Oh my gosh, Lance Gray, how you doing, buddy? Awesome, I love it. Let's see if this is working here. The chat is working on this software. All right, so the title of this one today is You Have All the Right Ingredients to Win. So this is something I've talked about before. If you had a cup and you had rocks and sand, this is so simple, and so many times we make life a lot more difficult than it needs to be. And I know I'm sure I sure do this. Ash, what's up, girl? So if you have a glass, a cup with sand and rocks, and you put all the sand in first, and then you try to put in the rocks, you're going to have a hard time getting in the rocks. But if you just flip and you first put in the rocks and then you put in the sand, you're going to be good to go. And that's kind of like in life. Whether you're cooking something, you can have all the right ingredients, but if you just take one ingredient out or you put too much of one ingredient in, now all of a sudden that thing don't taste so well. And so I believe that a lot of us, we got the ingredients. And quite frankly, we don't need to go outside of ourselves to find any more ingredients because we might keep going to college, we might keep learning, we buy another thing, we think we don't know enough. And I've done this. I typically do it through experience. I never gain enough experience to finally believe what either people are telling me or what I can see that's right in front of me. And, one of the things is doing this work. For years, this kind of work, being on here where I can jumpstart somebody, energize somebody, provide greater clarity and confidence in someone's life. Like, I was doing this for people and people were saying, oh my God, I couldn't have done this without you. And I'm thinking, what did I do? All I did was talk. Like, ask my wife. I can talk her ears off. So talking isn't a problem for me. Being encouraging, being optimistic, being positive. As a collective whole, I have my bad days. As a collective whole, it's not all rainbows and butterflies, but that is me naturally. It is not hard. And I find sometimes that the things in life that are the easiest, the most effortless, the most fun, the most enjoyable, the things we love the most are the things that bring the most value to others and potentially something that we can really make something out of in life. But because we ignore that and we think that life should be difficult or it should be hard or it should take a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of energy, we disregard that thing. So we keep looking for something else. We keep looking for something else. We keep looking for something else, thinking that outside of ourselves, we're going to find this external thing that's going to solve all our problems and be difficult. We're not consciously thinking it's going to be difficult, but our programming through life has made it where we believe that it needs to be difficult because we've been told by friends, family, and whoever in society that it's not easy. You know, I've said this before. I was at Lowe's the other day, and this lady, you know, she was in a lot of pain, and her mom had kept telling you, life's going to suck when you get older. Life's going to suck when you get older. And she's like, life sucks. You know, I'm in pain right now. And I said, sounds like your mom was a prophecy. And the reality is those are the things that happen to us in life. Oh, life's going to be hard. You're never going to be able to do that. You know, your dreams get squashed. You have that happen too many times, and you really don't dream. You really don't think that things can work out, and you start to lean into the negative. You start to lean into the pessimism. And that's where, you know, to come in here and provide a more of a sense of optimism is important. But you put the ingredients in the right order, and you got a great whatever, and it works. So create a pleasant experience. You know, I was just talking about this earlier, and I have found that in life, and there's a video that I just posted that was about this lady who worked at a coffee shop in the airport, and just watch the video. It's a great, great video. But the thing about it is that people, when it comes to referrals or referring people, especially if you guys are in business, and you wonder, well, I don't get that many referrals. Nobody refers me. Well, I've experienced / seen now through the lens of other people that even if you create great work, if in creating that great work you don't create a great experience, a positive experience, a referable experience, people aren't going to go tell their friend, because when they tell their friend, you might have gotten a great product, but if the experience was horrible, you don't want to tell your friend, hey, I know you need that. Let me go tell you about this person. They're going to be a major pain in your ass, but by God, got a great product. In this day and age, we don't have to put up with mediocrity. We don't have to put up with assholes. We don't have to put up with things that don't create a pleasant experience. And so I had a buddy of mine, he was telling me about a photographer who, you know, basically there was this job and he was referring to photographers. And he said, he goes, the guy's pretty difficult to deal with, but he's excellent. He's one of the best photographers I know. Like great, great, great guy from his work standpoint. And this other guy, though, his work's not quite as good, but it's solid. It's solid, but he's a blast. Like when we're on set, everybody loves him. He cracks jokes. He's funny, and it's just great to work with him. And so they chose that guy. They go, we want the fun guy. We don't have this. Life's too short to put up with assholes. And there was a time where you didn't have options. You didn't have choices. Just like with where you listen to your music, where you get your TV, where you get your clothing. There's millions of options now. So great customer service, being friendly, being pleasant, making a positive impact on somebody that they can talk about because they want to look like a hero, because when they tell their friend about your thing, they're not just telling about your great thing you offer. They know that when they go interact with you, they're going to have a great experience. And when they have that, they'll tell another friend, and they'll tell another friend. So, you know, keep that in mind, because sometimes we don't realize that we're not creating a pleasant experience. So that's where it's good sometimes to ask other people. It can hurt, especially if you truly want honesty. But, you know, sometimes people who are rude all the time don't even realize they're rude. Sometimes people who have a face like this, but on the inside are super happy and, you know, every life is rainbows and butterflies, but their face is like this. If I talked like this the whole time, and I said, guys, I'm going to inspire you today. I really think that I can leave an impact on your life, and you're going to have a great day. You're going to have a great day. Thanks, guys, for being here. Like, if I talked like that, you know, you wouldn't necessarily want to go tell your friend, hey, you got to check out this Gebs Guy's Jumpstart Sessions. He's a real box of chocolates. You know, it's like, you wouldn't do that. And we do that, but we need to sometimes, you know, essentially find that out, because I've had it. And my wife, I love her dearly. We joke when she used to be on shoots, you know, and a lot of people do this who help, you know, doing a lot through the years in video production. You know, my natural state as a whole, not always, but it's typically, if anybody knows me, is smiling. I'm walking around, you know, we're in somewhere like Vegas, and, you know, you got all the crazy people trying to stop you, and, you know, she's got RBF face, and I'm like smiling at everybody, and they're approaching us. She's like, you got to cut that out. So in that scenario, I got to kind of cut down my smile so we don't get approached by the crazies. But for her, when we're on shoots, I'm like, honey, you got to smile. Like, she's looking like this. You know, she's got that serious face. There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm like, honey, can just look like you're enjoying yourself. And it wasn't that she's not enjoying herself. It's just that that's her serious focusing face. And so there's just these little nuances in life that make, they make a big difference. If you guys have questions or thoughts, I think all the chat's working. I keep seeing Ash pop up. Angela, if any of you have any questions or thoughts or something you want me to jam on for a minute, type it in the comments. I should be able to see it because I've got this now streaming out to a few different places at one time. So it looks like the chat's working through for all the platforms at once. If you guys want to leave a comment, please leave a comment and I can see that it's working, hopefully. The final one I have here is the 80-20 rule. So sometimes in life, especially what I found in business, is that 20% of our effort is giving us 80% of our results. And if we're not observing, then we're spending 80% of our time. We never have time. We never have free time. We're always stressed. We're always busy. But we're kind of like that rocking chair. It moves back and forth, but it doesn't actually make progress. It doesn't actually move forward. And so we feel like we're moving. We feel like we're busy. We feel like we're doing things, but we're not really being productive. And I know that I've done this plenty in my life where it's like I'm burning out through the whole day doing a million things, but I'm not really doing the things that are going to matter or going to move the needle. And so I found that to be an important thing, to recognize what are the things that move the needle. But you have to do things first. Depending on how long you've been doing something and you're really observing, then you can start to pinpoint the things that make the biggest impact, the things that make the biggest difference, the things that maybe your clients love the most, the things that you love the most. And you can start to remove the things that, if you didn't need money, you wouldn't do anyways. And so many times we're doing these things that we wouldn't do if we didn't need money. Well, depending on what those things are, we got to figure out, can they be outsourced or can I just remove them? Sometimes things need to be done, like accounting. Sometimes I think I would learn over 12 years of being in business, but the reality is have people to take care of those things for you, because as much as it's simple sometimes, I procrastinate on things that may be simple because it'll take me 4 hours to screw around and do it, where it takes the person who loves it a very short period of time. So, what are those things that you're procrastinating on? What are those things that are slowing you down? What are those things that, you don't really love? And start to observe that and start to see, how can I remove those things? Or how can I have somebody else potentially do those things? And I think you'll find that the more you can remove those things, the happier that you will be. So rock and roll. That's my main nuggets on today's Jumpstart session. So again, my goal with these is to provide you with a greater sense of clarity, a greater sense of confidence, connection, and alignment with the right things for you. There's a lot of nuances in life, and at times when we're taking blanketed things and things that are generalized and feel that it applies to everybody, it doesn't always help. And so that's why I'm doing a lot more coaching and supporting people, in a one-to-one capacity or in small group settings, so that we can really dig in and figure out what it is that's going on. And so if you have any interest in that, send me a message. You can go to michaelgebben.com and fill out the contact form. But I'd love to support you if I can, if that's something that you're interested in. So anyways, have an amazing day. Have an amazing rest of your Friday. And have an amazing weekend. I plan to mainly do these Jumpstart sessions Monday through Friday. And if you have a topic or something that you'd like covered, please send me a message, leave a comment, and we'll cover that on a future Jumpstart session. So appreciate you all so much. Have a blessed day. Keep rocking and rolling, and we'll talk soon. Take care.